If you mean yes, you must say yes. If you mean no, say no. St. James, in the first reading, lets us really know that if we commit to something, we should commit to something. We should make our yes mean yes. This goes hand in hand with what the Gospel's talking about today. And this was hard teaching at the time of Jesus, and it's a hard teaching even until today, that when people get married, when they say yes to each other, when they pledge to live their lives in the love of God with each other, that yes means yes. And some people think we're crazy as Catholics. Why shouldn't people, if it doesn't work out after a few years or they've suddenly grown apart, shouldn't they just go elsewhere, go their own ways? Our yes means yes. We commit to faith, we commit to each other, we commit to marriage, and that yes means yes. And that means yes for the rest of our lives together. That's been the teaching of Jesus Christ. And it was hard teaching at the time of Christ. And Mark gives us a sense of this. The people came to Jesus and they were grappling with it. And they were saying, well, Moses allowed for this. And Jesus' response is, well, you people were unteachable. This isn't the way God designs it. That you can say yes and say, well, no, I didn't really mean yes. I only meant yes for a couple of years, or yes for 10 years, or yes until you got ugly and old or sick or whatever it is. No, yes means yes. And Jesus says, if you're going to commit to this, if you're going to create the love of God, you're going to become one body, the presence of Christ. That yes means yes. We then have the disciples who come after Jesus, after he said this and explained this, and we're told, Mark says, they continued to question him about this because they found this difficult as well. And if we were to go out into the street, and probably even amongst many Catholics, they'd probably say, well, there's reasons for divorce, these things happen. Sometimes there is terrible things that happen in relationships, perhaps because of people's anger, people's psychological condition and other things as well. And we should do what we can to support and assist in those situations to keep people safe and to keep people in the love of God. But Jesus is saying we shouldn't just it shouldn't just be easy. If we commit to something in the name of God publicly with our friends, our family, our community supporting us, that we want to be that presence of Christ, that love of God, that yes means yes. So thank you to all of you here who, when you committed to your husband or your wife, maybe at this altar or at another altar, that your yes actually meant yes. And that every day you wake up and you continue to say yes to that marriage of the presence of God. So thank you to all of you who have done that for years and years and years. As we are told, a man must leave father and mother and the two become one body. Every day we receive the body of Christ. This same language is used in relation to the husband and wife. You become the presence of Christ in our world. Let us continue to say yes, and let us make our yes mean yes for Christ, yes for God, yes for God's kingdom, and yes for love in our world in a true and a wholesome way.